is the Essential Digital Skills webinar for our resources. What we'll do today is we'll have myself, Andy Costello. My role is Skills for Life Product Manager at NOCN, so I look after our essential digital skills, our functional skills, and our ESOL qualifications, and the resources and things that go along with those as well. And I've also got Shelley Van Kooten with me, who will be doing some demos for us today of some of the resources. So what we plan to cover in this session is firstly, I'll give a quick overview of our essential digital skills qualifications. Then we'll move on to having a look at some of our interactive resources, and Shelley will give you a little demo of those resources. And then we'll move on to our app, which contains some initial assessment and diagnostic assessments, and can be used to sort of gauge where a learner is in terms of what level they should be going on to in terms of qualification. And then when they are on a particular qualification, you can assess where they sit in terms of what the knowledge and skills are currently. And then Shelley will again give us a little demo of our vLearn platform and some of the resources and things that you can use to kind of help you deliver the qualifications, prepare learners for assessments, and just make it easier for you. And then we'll just have a little bit at the end just to mention our digital functional skills qualifications, which are coming in August next year. So we'll start then by giving a quick overview. So our essential digital skills qualifications are based on the Department for Education's national standards for essential digital skills. The purpose of the standards is to enable learners to function effectively in an increasingly digital world. And our qualifications cover all parts of the 5 skills areas at both entry 3 and level 1. Each skills area is broken down into a series of skills statements, and it's those skills statements that our assessments focus on. So our qualifications are available at entry 3 and level 1. Both qualifications have got the same guided learning hours and total qualification time. And the qual spec is your key resource document where you can learn more about the qualifications, and we've also got a lot of information provided in vLearn to support your delivery of the qualifications, which Shelley will go into in a bit more detail. Within the qual spec you can find requirements for delivering the quals, and you can find the qual spec on our website. So for EDS qualifications, NOCN has certain responsibilities. So firstly, we will set and design the assessment, and that includes setting the pass mark. We provide external quality assurance of your assessment process, and our notional, we set the pass mark, and our notional pass mark for these qualifications is 60%. However, do note that these may change from paper to paper, because what we do is we run what we call an awarding process, and during that process the marks may go up or down in terms of pass marks, and this ensures that all of our assessments are fair to learners and reliable over time. So as an approved centre, you will be responsible for the following things. So firstly, registering learners and scheduling their assessments, conducting all aspects of the assessment, marking the assessments except the multiple choice element, which is computer marked, and you will ensure that appropriate internal quality assurance processes are in place. Unlike other externally set assessments, for the essential digital skills qualifications, teachers who teach the course may also assess. And then finally, over a period of time, centres are able to gain DCS with us, direct claims status. So our assessments are online and on demand. We just require that centres schedule assessments at least 48 hours in advance, and we also ask that learners are registered onto Quartzweb at least 5 days prior to sitting their assessment. However, we do strongly recommend registering learners as soon as possible, as this opens up a few little features for learners in terms of doing sample assessments and viewing sample assessments, which helps them to familiarise themselves with our platform, so that there's no surprises on the day of the test. So our tests are split into 3 sections. So there's a knowledge test, which covers 12 multiple choice items, scenario-based tasks, which are kind of more practical assesses more practical skills and their ability to apply the knowledge in an integrated way. And then observations, just kind of mop up anything that we couldn't assess within those other 2 methods. So it covers situations where there's little naturally occurring evidence, and it's an observation then by the tutor. The interactive content then is the first of the resources that we're going to be showing you today. So at this point I will hand over to my colleague Shelley, and she'll give us a little demo of some of our interactive content.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Shelley Van Kooten. I'm one of the senior product developers at NOCN, and my role is to look after quality development. And one of the qualifications I look after is essential digital skills. So as Andy mentioned, essential digital skills has resources on our vLearn platform, which I'm going to share with you now. Can everybody see that? Is that available?
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. So we created resources for each of the skills areas and for each of the qualifications. And the resources have been mapped to the qualification content. So we see these resources as a complement or a supplement to classroom teaching. So for some students who would like to do some revision before they do the assessment, this is a fantastic opportunity for them to revise before that assessment. For some learners who would like to just recap on a topic or perhaps have missed a little bit of learning due to absence, these resources are there to fill those gaps, to complement your classroom teaching and to supplement the teaching that you've been given. They're bite-sized, so we've created a resource per skills area or unit, as we've been calling it. They are interactive. We've got knowledge checks throughout, and we've created them so that they're engaging. We've also included videos from an inclusivity point of view as well. So once you've decided to actually enroll your learner on a vLearn course, you will allocate the course to them. So I'm going to show you our entry 3 using devices and handling information. So they would go into their vLearn platform as a learner. And if you want to find out more information about how to use our vLearn platform, we do have vLearn training on our website. So there's a range of different videos on our website about our vLearn platform, how to enroll your learners, how to help them access the different training options available. So I have actually started looking at this unit as a learner. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like. So learners would go into the unit, they can see what they're going to be covering in this unit, and then the content will load. Just give it a second. There we go. I'm just going to make it slightly bigger. As you can see on the left-hand side here, it is actually tracking my progress. So you can see that I've done majority of the module on using devices. So this is the content over here. Like I said, we like it to be very interactive, colorful, and engaging. So here's a couple of flip cards with some information on them that learners can just turn over. We've got some knowledge checks as well. So hopefully I can get all of these right. If I get them wrong, it's absolutely obviously meant to be.
No pressure.
No pressure there. And it actually marks them for them, so they can see if they've got the questions right or if they've got them wrong. Some more information. So I'm scroll down. We've got a video over here, so that can start, and videos and learners can watch that. And again, it covers the content from the qual spec, and for some learners who may find reading a lot of text on screen difficult, this video will help to actually cover some of the same content. A couple more flip charts as well. Another interactive tool that we have here. So hopefully I get these right again. So example, yes it is. So brilliant, I got that one right. So I'll just keep working my way through. So there's all these little short knowledge checks all the way through, so that the learner's not just reading lots and lots of text, lots of different color used as well. What is the answer to this one? Yes, no, it's not. Oopsie, I hit the wrong one, but that's all right, because I get to try it again. So if a learner does get something wrong, they can try it again. It's not a problem. Okay, sorry, for this one, I do have to actually finish the task in order to move on. But for the rest of the resource, learners can actually dip in and out as they want to. They don't have to work through them in order. So if you are delivering the units, I've called them 1 to 5, but if you are delivering in a different sequence, that's absolutely fine. They can access the resources in any way they like. They can move backwards and forwards through the content. So if they want to just go over a section again, that's absolutely fine. Another example of a knowledge check. I'm going to get some wrong here on purpose, because I can see that I've got them incorrect, so I can try that again until I get the right answers. And the learners will always be given what the correct answers are. Again, more videos, another knowledge check as well. You know, like I said, always looking back at what the qualification content is. And then once the learner has moved through this module, they will be able to move on to the next, this lesson, they'll be able to move on to the next lesson, which is finding and evaluating. But if they only wanted to actually do, say, this unit here, I can scroll straight through to it and I can move my way through there as well. If a learner then is finished for the day and they haven't finished their content, all they need to do is click exit course, and that way it will actually keep a track of what information they have done. So if I go back into the course again, sorry, just give it a second to load again. You can see it's been tracking my progress over here. So you can see over here that I didn't quite finish using devices, but I've now started managing and storing information. So like I said, you know, with these resources, they are learner-led. They can do them in their own time. There is an option to actually do it on their mobile phone as well. So there doesn't have to be on a PC. If they want to access them on the mobile phone, they can do that as well. And they can dip in and out as they want. And they are a fantastic resource for learners to use before they actually start the assessment. So that is our resources, one of our interactive resources that we have available. I'll hand back to you, Andy.
Thank you. Okay, and I will just share my screen again. Can you see that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, so just get that up. Yeah, so another resource that we have available, which we've not communicated out, this is actually the first time we're mentioning this resource to anybody, is what we're calling the NOCN Group app. So this is available on Android and iOS, and it is an app designed to kind of help to prepare people for tests, but also for essential digital skills. What we've done here is built into it some key features around initial assessment and diagnostic assessment. So For essential digital skills, this app will provide initial assessment and diagnostic for your learners. It's available on the app stores now and can be downloaded. Currently, everything is free until the new year. So I kind of really encourage people to go in and try it, see what you think. If you've got feedback, you know, please do feed that back to us. We are looking for ways to improve and upgrade this app. So you know, we want your feedback really on how this is working for you, and whether you think it's useful, what you think needs to be changed. But the key features of the app, it is divided into categories. So there's lots of different categories on there, one of which is essential digital skills. And within that category, you'll find some initial assessments and diagnostic assessments. Within each category, you get a glossary of terms and also some additional information about the qualification, the assessment, whatever's relevant to that particular product. We have developed into the app. This was an existing app that we put some time and effort into reviewing and upgrading and really kind of developing the functionality within this app. So we've developed two new test types in initial assessment and diagnostic assessment, which should help essential digital skills. We've also got the same for functional skills as well, if you deliver functional skills. And the key features of this app are it gives you very rich results, so you can kind of really see for as a learner, you can see your strengths and you know, areas where you might need a little bit of development. And we've also inbuilt the ability to email the result. So you could email it to yourself or to your tutor. You know, once you do an initial assessment or a diagnostic, you could email that result to your tutor, and it's going to give the feedback against the kind of syllabus of kind of how you've done against each different area. So we think a really useful tool for centres and for learners to kind of test themselves and you know, understand a bit more about where their strengths and areas for development lie. There's also the ability within the app to review the tests that you've already taken, so you can see your results for previous tests as well. And that's the app. If you do have any questions, stick them in the chat and we will answer them. If you do want further information around essential digital skills, I've already mentioned the qualification specification. That is on the website, and there's also a little bit of more general information on the website, including the content for EDSQ, but it's also in the qual spec as well. And then the final piece of the puzzle is once you are registered and approved for essential digital skills, you'll get access to vLearn, which Shelley is now going to give you a bit more information on the document section of vLearn.
Thanks,
Shelley,
Andy.
back over to you.
Thank you. Can I just confirm we can see my screen? Yeah. So this is vLearn. As a centre, you will have access to vLearn. This is in the document section. So I'll just take you back to where you'd find it. So you're going to Document Manager, look for the sector area, which is 6, and then ICT for users. And in here, we have lots of resources for essential digital skills, which is there to support you as a centre in delivering the best learning experience for your students. And also we have some resources for learners as well. So under Centre Resources, which is that one, not that one, not that one. We have initial assessment, which Andy's just talked about, which is on the app. But for the time being, you can also find it here as well. It is an interactive assessment, an initial assessment. But what I would suggest is that you use this initial assessment alongside your own initial assessment processes, and this will give you an idea of where learners are at in terms of their current knowledge and whether they should be on an entry 3 or a level 1 program. So in addition to accessing it on the app, you can also access it here for the time being. So I'll just show you what it looks like. So it looks very similar to the resources that I showed you earlier. There are 30 multiple choice questions, and learners will have an opportunity to answer each of the questions. I'm not going to take you through all of them, but you know, it'll tell you whether you're wrong or right, and you move through the questions, and at the end it'll give the learner results. And like I said, this really should be used in association with your own initial assessment processes, and then obviously the diagnostic tool on the NOCN app as well. Back here. We have assessment delivery instructions as well. So there's a full document here on what you need to do in order to prepare your learners for their assessments. And it's really important that you read through this and make sure all this information is available to your learners and that everything's in place. We also have a check system functionality so that learners can check that their systems will actually manage with our online assessment platform. So that is in place there for you as well to help you prepare your students for their assessment. In terms of centre training, we have a PowerPoint on all the training that we've done to date, and then we've got a fantastic tool over here which takes you through the assessment process. And embedded in this document is videos on how to register your learner, how to schedule an assessment. So there's various videos throughout this document. So this is a great resource to have available about the assessment process and also just generally about how the EDS qualification runs. So it's just a case of clicking through and watching the videos. For learners, just going back a second. For learners, we have a range of resources for them as well. And again, we have some interactive embedded videos on the assessment. And again, this is a great tool to prepare your learners for their assessment. So it talks about what the knowledge test is and what they can expect. It talks about the scenario-based tasks and what they can expect as well. And then again, there's an overview of the video overview of the qualification available for the learners as well. So I definitely say please use this area on vLearn. There's lots of resources here that will help you as a centre and will help your learner as well for them to have a very successful qualification and hopefully a successful assessment as well. Andy, back to you.
Thank you. So I'll just share my screen one more time, although I've only got one more slide to do. Can you see that?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. So the last bit really is to just mention that our digital functional skills qualifications are we're in development now with them. We're looking to launch them in August of next year. Again, you know, we're looking to have the same kinds of support available as we have for essential digital skills. So some interactive content, initial and diagnostic assessments, and then, you know, what I did want to do is just kind of open it up to centres, because we're always looking for feedback. So if you do have suggestions or thoughts on, you know, what else would be useful, you know, please let us know, because, you know, it's that kind of feedback that we use to determine, you know, where we focus our attention. So I'm going to stop there and just ask if really there are any questions from anybody.
In terms of the resources, just following on from what Andy said, if you've got any feedback on any of the interactive resources that we've shown, that would be really, really helpful. You know, just let us know how you're finding them. If you have any questions, any suggestions, you know, please get in contact and let us know, because, you know, we would like to work with you on that.